Hey guys, my name is Bando, this is Breakfast with Bando, and unfortunately it's time for me to finally face reality and say, I quit.
So long, gay boys!
So not really, I don't really quit, I'm not quitting YouTube, I'm just being hyperbolic, but the subject of quitting is actually the subject of today's video. So you can see here on screen one of the pictures of some of my models that I've recently completed. This is a unit of veterans for the Sons of Horus and an Armistos console with a las cannon. Now I've been painting these guys for quite some time. In fact, the earliest record I can find of these guys is 101 weeks ago, which is close to 2 years. So I've been working on these guys for 2 years. Now, I'm sure what many of you are thinking is, Bando, the guys that I'm seeing on screen are most definitely not the end result of 2 years worth of work. And I would agree with you. 2 years worth of work should produce a considerably better quality paint job. This is the problem. I couldn't do it. So painting these models has been a real struggle for me. I'm not sure why though. You can see here there's a guy with a kit-bashed combi grenade launcher, and I really like this guy. Like the whole pose, the general aesthetic, the silhouette, everything about this model I really like. But for some reason on these models, no matter what I tried to do, paint would never behave how I wanted it to, colours would never come out how I wanted them to, and I just was never happy with the end result. No matter how many times I tried and I changed schemes and I added details and I added freehand and I removed freehand and I redid it and I added checkers here and I covered them in black and I redid them and I painted shoulder pads a different colour, I couldn't get these guys to look how I wanted them to. I thought about stripping these models several times. Like, I've got to 99% of the paint job being finished, and I seriously started thinking, hey, I should strip these and start from scratch. So in the end, what I decided was, I'm done. I am going to make sure every major part is coloured the way it's supposed to be coloured. I'm going to varnish them and I'm going to base them. I also tried a new basing scheme which is considerably yellower than my classic Sons of Horus style. I'll throw an image here of one of my Sons of Horus models. You can see that I use Wordbearer's Red is the colour I mostly use for my Sons of Horus, and I've really kind of gone off that. It doesn't look so great. I wanted to use weathering powders, so I started breaking out some of the many weathering powders I've got. I've actually tried 2 different ones here. One of them is called Burning Embers, and I can't even find the website it was made on anymore. And the other one is Vallejo, and it is... Nope, that's the wrong one. It's one of the Vallejo pigments. I can't remember which one. Oh, here it is. Vallejo Rust. Wow, that's original. And that's just mixed with a little bit of alcohol and then just dabbed over a dry brush grade base. And I think it looks better. Yes, it's brighter, but, you know, that is what it is. Now, these guys were based on a piece of artwork, or several pieces of artwork actually, from the old Visions of Heresy book. Visions of Heresy book had several weird and wonderful images in it, and this is because Visions of Heresy was kind of created around the time that that the novels were being written and a card game was being created, but there wasn't really any aesthetic solidness about the Heresy at this point. So a lot of what we are now used to is very different to how it was shown to us back in whenever the hell this was, like 2008 or something. We have things in there like Custode Grav Rhinos, or Death Guard Mark III jump packs, giant, great big ball-shaped jump packs, and all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff. And I believe these guys were called the Chondax Reaver Squad or something like that. And they're shown in grey with these red gloves, and they've all got these red gloves on them for the Sons of Horus. And that image really struck with me. You can see they're even in the wrong colour. They're in grey rather than sea green. But certain, aspects have remained. Some of the face plates are very similar to how we've ended up with them. The Eye of Horus is there, the Roman-style lightning bolts, the wolf pelts, the spiky bits on the armour. But realistically, it is this red gauntlet that is absolutely the most identifiable kind of component of these Sons of Horus. And I really liked that. And we have plenty of other examples of legions having something like, red being used. On the units, you have the red marked of the Ultramarines, which use as a symbol of shame, as do the red hands of the Night Lords. And then you have veterans of the the Imperial Fists. Their veteran sergeants generally wear red helmets. I'm sure there's probably more. The White Scars use a lot of red in their things. A lot of their destroyer units are in red with white detailing rather than the other way around. So this doesn't break the law for me in any way, shape or form. And this is also why I use the Death Guard helmets, because the Death Guard helmets have that real kind of early heresy look that is present in this artwork. Lots of pickle helms and all that sort of thing. There's a real famous one, which is, I think it's Adrian Smith. It's the fight between Horus and the Emperor, and everyone, every couple of weeks, someone posts it up on Reddit and goes, "Hey, who are these guys behind the Emperor?" Because there's a bunch of black Space Marines with like pickle helms with the spike on them, and we've never actually had an official description or an explanation. Several people who worked on the project have gone, "Oh, we just picked out that these were the Custodes," so that's as close as we got to it. But a lot of the artwork has the same sort of style helmet in the Collected Visions book. And I was really passionate about this unit. The idea of a bunch of tooled up veterans, looking mean, carrying all sorts of weird and wonderful combi weapons. I kit-bashed a load of these combi weapons from leftover bits. I think the grenade launcher guy, his grenade launcher is actually from the Scout bike. I've used bits from Mark II resin kits. I've used bits from the Mark VI plastic kit. I've used bits from Stern Guard kits, Chaos Space Marine kits, Death Guard, all sorts. I even threw a guy in there with a heavy chainsword because I really felt like it. It was never designed to be a gaming kind of effective unit. It was purely just an aesthetic, arty kind of thing. And while I can still see the bones of what I wanted to do there, I just couldn't quite make the basket. And it was very demoralising. But I think it's okay to say, "Hey, I quit." It's okay to stop a project that you're not enjoying. It's okay to draw a line under it and say, "This didn't come out how I wanted it to, I'm going to do something else." As a lot of you guys know who follow the channel, I'm currently trying to work through my backlog. I am desperately trying to get through everything that I've already kind of started before I start doing any more. I don't want to keep purchasing new models, and I don't want to keep building because I've run out of space, basically. I've run out of display space, which means if I keep just building more stuff, I'm just going to have models sat in places that need to be moved constantly. So if I can finish what I've got partially started, that at least frees up space in the work in progress boxes I use. And now I know why these have been sat here for 2 years. I'm just not vibing with them. You know. And I still like them. I like using the Chaos bodies. These are actually the ones from... Is it Shadow Spear? When they first redid the Chaos Space Marines into the new scale. They gave us kind of a mono pose set with the Master of Possession. That's where these guys came from. They're not the regular Chaos Space Marine tactical squad. And I've got 5 rocket guys, heavy weapons squad here to finish as well, that I'm kind of feeling the same way about. And a second Armistice, who is also made from Fafnir Rand's body, with a rocket launcher as well. I like the idea of having multiple Armistice. Every heavy weapons team I've got a matching Armistice for them. I don't want to magnetise. I don't mind magnetising, but I much prefer the going through and building and constructing something different. So yeah, I've got another 6 models to do before these Sons of Horus are all done. But I don't want to do it. I don't think it's healthy if I keep doing this. If I was to strip these and start again, it could be another 2 years before they're finished. So instead I decided what I was going to do is just draw a line under them. They're finished. I'm going to touch up any major problems, weather them, finish with the highlights, and then just varnish and base. And I'm done. Are they the best looking units in the army? Far from it. Will I replace them? Most definitely. GW gives us a plastic veteran squad in the future. They'll probably be replaced almost instantly. Which is a shame, because this was an idea I had, and it's almost come out how I wanted it to. That's all I really got to say. I mean, it's a bit of a silly video, I know. Let me know what you think. Have you got a project that you just keep plugging away at and you can't quite finish and you're losing passion for it? Have you never had this problem? Anyway, my name is Bando. This is Brexit Bando. Have a great day. Bye-bye.